Okay. Okay, we're recording now. I'm frozen, still frozen? Iffy? Of course I am. Excellent. Oh, I'm good now. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, today is, what is today? Oh, September 11th. Unfortunately, a day that's easy to remember. September 11th, 2018, and tonight we're talking about being your authentic self as a coach. This is one of my favorite topics, and I don't know why I haven't done a call on it in a while, but all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I should do that, because it is one of my absolute favorite topics. Any announcements beforehand? Okay, so obviously I had a baby. So I have not listened to the National Wake Up Call yet, but one announcement I did want to share is that Beachbody on Demand, Beachbody.com is going away. It is just going to be Team Beachbody now, which is wonderful. So people can't do the, like so many people when I first started would buy like the payment plan for like 21 Day Fix or the payment plan for something. And you don't get commission for that. So you'd be like, oh, I'm so happy for you, but like you're not because you want the commission, even though we're happy that they got started. But that's going away, and it just shows how much Beachbody loves us as coaches and believes in us and the really important role that we have. Not just that anybody can buy a fitness program and stick to it, or buy Shakeology and stick to it. It's that we help them stay accountable and get results. So that's really exciting. Shift Shop, the new version, not new version, but the new extra workouts are coming out, which is super exciting. That was a program that I really, really loved. If you want a shorter program, like, because it's only 3 weeks, it's 3 weeks, right? Or is it 30 days? I don't know. 3 weeks or 30 days. I can't remember now. 3 weeks. It's like the 25-minute workout, 35-minute, 45-minute, pretty basic nutrition plan like 21 Day Fix. I got really great results before I went to Mexico last year, and especially those first 2 weeks, like the workouts just go really, really fast, and then you only have 1 week of 45 minutes. So if you want to dive into a new program and just give your all to it, that's a really fun one to do and to try. Also, then Lift 4 in October is going to be launching to everyone on demand. So I would leverage that. I would talk about it like it's like your wedding coming. Like, it is like the biggest thing. You have a countdown, you're planning for it. That's what I'm going to do, because that's going to be my first program back. I'll run a Lift 4 group, but probably not like when it launches that first day. I'll probably do it the middle of the month. That just works out for my healing time. But you guys do what you need to do. But if you want a group to combo with, I'm totally here. Besides that, September is a really good month because everybody's getting back into the routine, and so up your invites, up. Oh, and pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin spice Shake-O. Yes, next Monday, Shakeology. There's a 14. It's only 14 packets in a pack, so you can't buy like a whole bag of the pumpkin spice Shake-O. And when it's gone, it's gone. So order, order, because I'm sure that whatever Carl said they were gonna like make, he made more of, but I'm sure it will run out. Like, if anything has shown us this year in how things are blowing up between 80-Day Obsession and 2B Mindset and then the beach bars, everything was way over projected. Like the numbers at Summit were really cool, but it was like they thought 80-Day Obsession was gonna like I'm just doing quick math, but like 100,000, and like it did. They were like, oh, you should like just plan on like 125, and Carl was like, no, we're gonna do like 155,000 or 185,000 or something, and they still sold out. And that was the same thing with the beach bars, and that was the same thing with 2B Mindset blowing up. Everything has blown up the projected numbers. So moral of the story, if you want pumpkin spice latte, I would get your order in next week. And apparently you can do up to 5 orders. So this is a good thing for your husband's account or your spouse's account or your mom's account or your controlled account or whatever, because it's going to be so yummy. I cannot wait. And that's it. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about being your authentic self. And I have notes, and I have a baby on my lap too, for those of you who joined late. So, and he's squidging. So this is a topic that I really love because oh no, thank you. I think that when you allow yourself in this business to just be you, and you put your blinders on, which is what I told all of you in your Get Started Right call if we had one together, is to put your blinders on and to just work your business. It is so fun to just be you and to be okay with like all the parts of you. So the weird parts about you, the cool parts about you, the strong parts about you, the weak parts about you, all of that. And when you do that, your business isn't hard. But when you pretend to be somebody you're not, or you pretend to be a coach that you admire, and for all great reasons, right? You know, you admire them, you want to emulate what they do. But when you do that, the business becomes not easy. It's not easy to be someone else. You have to try way harder than to just be yourself. So I was writing down notes for the call, and I was like, oh, this is going to get a little, not dark, but emotional. Not emotional, but just like kind of deep. And I didn't really mean it to be when I was like, oh, this will be a light topic. No. So I'm going to talk a lot about Brené Brown at first. So if you guys have not done The Power of Vulnerability, and I was like not trying to talk about this book because I always talk about this book, but as I was in the shower going over my notes, I was like, and yes, I was literally going over my notes in the shower because I have this new suction cup thing, and I just like put it up and can scroll through my notes. I was like, no, I have to talk about it because Brené Brown, if you haven't listened to The Power of Vulnerability, it's not a book. It's an audio seminar that Brené Brown did. And it's really, really amazing. And she talks, so I highly recommend it if you haven't done it, to do it next, immediately. It has literally been years of therapy for me. Each time I read it, like I save like hundreds of thousands of dollars on like a top therapist because I deserve and need a top therapist. But basically what happens is that she was saying that we all, sorry, he was making a noise. That basically what this book was about is that Brené Brown was kind of on a quest, we can call it, a quest to find out like why people are happy and what makes them happy, and like what qualities people who have that when the people are really happy, like she looked at their qualities. And basically what she just did is all she did was interview people, and then you take like notes, and then you review the notes, and you create trends in what people say. That's what I got from what she does as a job. And the moral of the story of the book is that what one of the big takeaways I have is that we all have a story. And she quotes something in it, it's her own quote, is that, you know, she's interviewed hundreds and thousands of people, and every single person has a story that will bring you to their knees, bring you to your knees. We all have trials, and we all have things about us, and we all, if we were to have wine night and girls night, and we would all let our guards down, and if we were to tell our true story, where we came from, you know, the how we got there, where we're at right now, the struggle, we would all be crying. And that doesn't mean that your story looks like my story or my story looks like your story, but struggle is struggle, and we all connect that way. And it reminded me of a class I took in college, and this was my favorite class ever. And I was somebody who I was like, I'm just trying to get college done. Like, I didn't do any of the fun stuff. Like, I didn't live on campus. I didn't go to parties with people at school. But this class was literally, and yes, I am about to breastfeed. This class was like the best thing ever. It was mythology, and I thought that I was going to just take a class about mythology and like learn about Greek gods. And honestly, this teacher changed my life because it wasn't that about anything. What we did is we took Greek legends and legends around the world, and we compared them to our lives. And she made a soul search. And at the end of the semester, we all just cried. It was like together as this huge class, and we all cried. It was so beautiful. But she talks about the hero's journey, and I don't know if anyone has heard about that or has taken the class, or I don't know, maybe Brenna did, because I know she's in like that world. But I was like a teacher, and so that wasn't really my world where we were like diving into anything further than like kids struggles, you know, like kids have problems at home and like you're gonna deal with that in your classroom, that kind of stuff. Nobody was like making you evaluate you in my course of classes. So this class was so amazing. And so what we did ultimately is we took Hercules, the story of Hercules, and we talked about the hero's journey. And the hero's journey always starts with some kind of choice. The hero makes a choice to go, you know, left on the fork or right on the fork, and to start a journey or to not start journey. And then through every single hero's journey, there's a companion, there's trials, there's the betrayal, there's all these characteristics. And what we did is we took our lives and we came up with one of our hero's journeys. And we all have multiple hero journeys. You know, some of them are short, some of them are long. You know, if you're a Greek mythology lover like I am, like Hercules had a bunch of them, and the second you end one, you go on another one, and it's like, it's just really cool. Anyways, but our hero's journey is, I think of that as what we do when we share our stories as a coach. We can't share just the good stuff. We have to share the authentic parts about our lives. And if you share only all the good parts and you make your authentic life look happy as can be all the time, and I don't mean that you can't be happy and struggling, because you can be. Like, you can like laugh about it. You can be like, I haven't showered in 3 days, I have toddlers, like let's all have a good laugh, but that's still a struggle. You will not connect with people. So when you are deciding how to be you and you're looking at what you're going to share on social media or what this week you're going to promote or who you're trying to talk to, think about your hero's journey and think about all the things that you have been through, that you are going through. Think about your companion. Like, I think about you guys. You know, you guys are like, you're my companion. You're my, in the struggle, in the grind. It's okay because I have my trusted companion. It's my team, you know, it's my trusted whatever. And, you know, I remember people talking about in the class, it was like, you know, like all the heroes always have like an animal, you know, they always, or like a sidekick, somebody who's just there with them through it all. And then there's the trials and the betrayals and all that stuff. And so when you're being your authentic self, don't forget that you're on your own hero's journey and all you're doing is sharing that. So I'm going to share, like, my 3 main points is that you becoming and being your authentic self as a coach means you have to find your purpose. You have to share all about yourself, and then be clear about what you do and what you're looking for. So first, finding your purpose. So what quest are you going on, right? Like the hero's journey, you have to go left or right. Like, that's like the choice at the beginning of it. What are you doing? What's your purpose here? What is your purpose as a coach? Is it, and it's okay if you're a new coach and you're like, well, I just got really amazing results at 21 Day Fix. Like, that's what I'm doing here. That's okay. But think about it deeper. Yeah, baby? Hi, yeah. It's a ball. It's a ball. Yeah? It's a ball. It's my chapstick that she's showing me. It's a ball. Your journey. Yes, Cammy. Yes, it's a ball. Go show Daddy, please. So whatever your purpose is, in the beginning, you might not know completely what your purpose is because it's the beginning. And, you know, I remember you get started in the coaching journey and you get added into the team page. Then you start following people who are a little bit higher than you. And then your eyes kind of open, like, oh, this is what's capable in this business. And that's really exciting. But it's okay if you don't know what that is right now. But find your purpose. Like, what are you doing here as a coach? What is your goal? And I don't mean like My goal is to become a 5-star diamond. I mean, what is your goal? Your goal, like my goal, be real specific. My goal is to help other busy moms feel like they can make health and fitness a priority in their lives so that they can feel good. Like that's my purpose. That's like not word for word what it is, but that's like the gist of it. So you need to become clear about what your purpose is. Why are you here? And then remove comparison, because if we're all on our own hero's journey and we're all on our own quest and we're all have our own specific purpose, you can't compare what you're doing to anybody else. Now, if you listen to a lot of Top Coaches team calls, which is what I've done since the beginning of my business, I just would go to YouTube and I would listen to people. They say success leaves clues. So sometimes we take that as, well, I should just do what my upline does. Like I should copy her, or I should copy Lindsay Matway, or I should copy whoever. And I think that it's important to look at successful people because success does leave clues. But what you're going to do is you're going to look at the traits, not the details. So if you are inspired that Lindsay Matway shares all this value about makeup and beauty products and all that stuff, okay, let me rephrase that. If I think it's really great that Lindsay Matway shares all these products about beauty and hair and all that stuff, and so I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that because success leaves clues. Okay, I know nothing about anything with makeup and hair and eyelashes, and like she had this thing that you do with your hair a while ago. I didn't even know they made it. It like crimps the bottom of it so that you have volume. I've never even heard of that before. So what I need to do is see, okay, Lindsay Matway adds value consistently. What value can I add as Sam? My value is like, hey, this is the dry shampoo I use because it's cheap and it works. Here you go, ladies. But that's my value. So I'm looking at the trait, not the detail. If you are inspired that Keisha takes a beautiful selfie in all these different places around every city she lives in and has this like really motivational quote, don't go to Keisha's post and take the words. Say, okay, what Keisha's doing is she's diving into personal development. She's feeling all the feels and she's putting her feelings into words and sharing that. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it me because we're not reading the same personal development thing and we have not walked the same path of life. But I'm going to share my feelings consistently because that's what Keisha does and she sees success. Or if you want to go to Holly Hillier's page and see Holly shares, or Melanie Mitro shares a workout photo every single morning. But you're not going to go and take the exact same picture and do the exact same thing. But what you do is you're going to see the clues that success leaves and see she is so consistent with her fitness journey and sharing that, I'm going to do that. That's the difference. So comparison, you have to get rid of that. So it doesn't matter what the person on our team who signed up the same day as you, or what I'm doing, or what another coach is doing with Success Club or in Team Bold Fit or Team Forward Fitness, like people getting 50 Success Club points. You have to keep your head down, do your work, because when you're running the race, and I don't know what sport this is or what race this is or whatever, but I know that like or maybe it's swimming. It was Michael Phelps or something. He's like, when you look back to see where someone else is, or look to the side or look ahead, you slow your time down. You have to just put your head down and focus on what you're doing and where you're going. Because it is, just like I said in the beginning of the call, it is so much more work to try to be Lindsay Matway than it is just to be Samantha Rosenthal. When I'm just me, I don't have to think about what I'm doing on my Insta story. I don't have to think about the words I'm using. I'm just being me. And then you're blessing and releasing anybody who wants to hit the unfollow button. Because honestly, if they aren't your tribe and you start a conversation with them, they're not going to end up being in your group anyways because you don't speak to them, and that's okay. So it's really just weeding the people out. Okay, sorry. And I hope that she doesn't mind. I'm going to say today, Madison and I were voice messaging, and she was saying that, you know, she was talking about her aha at the current moment of life, not even coaching, but just that, you know, her daughter's getting a little bit bigger and she has these goals for her and what she wants to be as a mother. And she was just like, well, I'm just so glad that I can see a bigger goal and a bigger picture for what this business can offer me. And it's moms, you know, like her, wanting to have a flexible schedule to give her kids what they want. And that is finding her purpose. And she might not have known that purpose from the second she walked in the door as a coach, right? But life happened. She's on her hero's journey. She had a trial pop up and she figured out, and then she narrowed her purpose down even further. And it was just cool to listen to because I've had that happen many times. You know, I'm having my third baby and it's like, oh, I need this flexibility. And so whatever your narrowing purpose happens, it will happen through a trial. And then you'll be able to see clearer when you have your head down, when you're not comparing, when you're just focusing on your own journey, like, oh, this is why I'm here. It's to help somebody else. And it doesn't matter if you're not retired yet, if you haven't replaced your income yet, you still invite people to this business opportunity because you know other people have done it. And you're giving them a gift that they can run with if they want to. Okay, and then this is like, I think the best part about being a coach is that you just get to share yourself. Now, everybody struggles with different things. I do not struggle with posting on social media. I have never been nervous to do it. I did feel like I had to go to the bathroom when I posted my very first transformation. I will not lie about that. I like put my phone down and left it in my classroom for like hours because I don't know, I'd never done it before. I was nervous. And so, but in regards to like sharing a sweaty selfie or caring what people think, I have never cared. But other people really do struggle with it. So definitely, this is a personal development moment where I encourage you to do personal development to power through this. But share everything, you guys. Like, share the good about you, like in the little things. And I remember as a new coach, what was it? It was like, share what someone said, it was probably on a national wake up call. Share what you're already good at, because somebody else is not already good at it. So if you like are good at a certain recipe or can meal prep like a champ, or you are, you know, think about little things. If you consistently can do something, share about that. Don't make yourself look at like this big hill and think, well, I'm not going to share anything until I get to the top of it. Share your path. Like if meal prep, oh, see, I'm blue again. Why does that keep happening? Whatever, I'm just blue. If meal prep is your thing, share that like you rock at meal prep. Like Sarah's not on the call right now, but Sarah is so good at meal prep. Like when she posts on her Instagram stories, I'm like, girl, you have like a post every single day if you wanted to about food, because like that is like good meal prep. My meal prep looks disgusting. It's like rice and like, you know, like broccoli that I didn't really cook very well, and then like chicken that is dry because I don't know how to cook, and like if John doesn't do it, but I mean I'm getting better, but like that's pretty much it. And so share what you're good at so that it's easier to be authentically you. And it's not you bragging, but you get to be excited that something's good at. If you rock at finding motivational quotes that make your heart like pound and get excited through personal development, share those, because your people are going to be like, gosh, like I love that. And you like, people like screenshot quotes all the time. So being authentically you should be the easy part. Sharing on social media should be the easy part. And on your Instagram, how easy is it now? You don't even have to like have any like hooks or good sayings. You could just share whatever makes you you. The good and the bad. Like right now I'm purposefully sharing the heck that I'm eating like shit. Like I'm being honest and real, but I had a baby and I'm like shoving in the cupcakes and the cheesecake, and I'm sharing about it because I want people to see that, one, that's my struggle. Like if there's a sweet in the house, I will eat it. And two, that you can make that change. So share it. If you every single day make coffee in the morning. You know, like I shared the coffee a lot because that's kind of my life. People who like live off coffee get that. If you are someone who loves your dog and walks your dog every day, take a little boomerang of your like little doggy booty moving, because like other dog moms are going to think that that's like so cute. So share the little parts of your day. A couple tips. If you're not talking in your Instagram story, you need to start, because people want to hear you. They want to see you. And if you're really nervous about that, that's okay. Sometimes when I'm like, I look disgusting, I don't even have anything to say, I'll have my voice but not my face in it. Like that's like when I'm having a struggle day, but I still want people to know that it's me. You know, flip it around, or I'll point at something, or I'll point at ingredients and I'll just talk. You know, and start small. Tell a joke or something funny that happened, like not a knock joke, but like if something really funny happens, that's easy to share on the story. Like your toddler pooped everywhere, I don't know, that's easy to share. And then as you have like these moments like that we've all had, when you've dove into personal development, or when you've gotten off a team call, or you feel so fired up, it's not hard to jump on an Instagram story or a Facebook Live like I used to do all the time. I would listen to personal development and then do a Facebook Live about like how I was getting so jazzed up about something, or I would share my takeaways from personal development, something like that. So let them see that it's you, and then share your consistencies, of course, with your workouts. Share your consistencies with your Shaco or your mom crack or whatever, and just however you really do it. If you drink your mom crack looking like a hot mess in the morning, share that. If you get ready and then drink your mom crack, share that too. Whatever it is, just be you. And then share the hard stuff. So this is the part that I also do not struggle with. I very quickly owned my story as a young child that I come from addiction, I come from bankruptcy, I come from divorce, I come from struggle. And that was something that honestly, owning it helped me deal with it, because then I felt like if I could laugh it off, like it wasn't so bad. But then, can everyone hear Gammy screaming? This child, sorry for the language. Hold on, I have one baby, hold on. It's fine, I have a circus. So, this is the part where you share your trial. And my top tip for sharing things that you're vulnerable about, don't share it when you're going through it. So, you know, the days that my husband and I get in a really big fight, and that is probably the thing that brings me to my knees the quickest, is where I shut down, where I don't want to do anything. I don't want to post anything. I don't want to invite anyone, is when John and I fight. It's like, just makes me so upset. I'm probably not going to say in that moment, like, hey, I'm in a really bad mood because my husband and I are fighting. But then later, because in theory, you're going to try to work on that. And so John and I will have conversations or whatever, and this could be months later, about what has helped us get through that. Or if you're really struggling with stress from work, I'm not saying don't mention it. You can be like, I'm really stressed at work right now, lightly, but when you dive into it, make sure that you've made it through it a little bit before you really share about it. Because if you're not in a space of acceptance or clarity in your vulnerability, it will come off as whiny or dumping. And these are all terms that Brene Brown uses, like floodlighting, when you just like all of a sudden say something really like, and this is my safe space, my team is my safe space, so I'll tell you, I laugh about it now, like when you're in shock, when something kind of dramatic happens, and then you just like say it to people, and then like you have to watch them be like, oh, okay. Like, so when my mom passed away, I like called my work and just said it like, because I was like, it was so awkward. And now I was like, oh my God, that was like so floodlighting. But in the moment I didn't know what it was, and I was just trying to like inform people. Anyway, so it's like, don't share when you're in the shock of a vulnerable thing. So when something really bad is happening, you're going to come off like, ooh, or, you know, some people have posted on my posts before and I've read them and it's like, ooh, that was uncomfortable. So share what has helped you get through it. And you might not be completely through it, but if your workout is helping you manage the stress, you can be super vague because people don't really need to know. Yes, share the scar, not the open wound. But when you say like, I'm stressed, someone can connect with you stress by stress. They don't have to know specifically why you're stressed, like what at work is stressing you out. You don't have to dump that on everyone, like social media wise. But when you say I'm struggling, people will think, well, I'm struggling. Like we're connecting that way. And I'm getting through my struggle because I did my workout and it's helping me breathe a little bit better. So that's something I have every single move in every single first trimester. I have incredible anxiety. And so I don't really say, hey, I'm 8 weeks pregnant and I'm throwing up in the bathroom constantly, but I'll say I'm in struggle right now. I'm in struggle and I can't breathe because my anxiety is so deep. So this yoga that I just streamed from Beachbody On Demand helps me breathe. So share the hard stuff. I would suggest also, if you know, you can message me or your success partner or your upline and say, hey, can you read over this post? Like I'm sharing something pretty vulnerable. Brenna does on her team the work together Wednesday. And we do it when I remember to post about it in the group. But like being vulnerable and sharing that vulnerable piece about you that has nothing to do necessarily with, hey, join my boot camp, or hey, join my, you know, what is coaching sneak peek, but it's a piece of you. Because I always say and I get the most messages, you guys, I get the most messages when I just pour my heart out, usually about my mom's addiction or something like that. I will get the most messages. I'm not saying that it's completely correlated with high Success Club points, but that's not why we're here, right? We're connecting to people heart to heart. And then ultimately they will join you when they're ready, because they'll remember like, oh, hey, that girl's like me. We have the same struggles and she's making it through because she's doing this. I actually got a message like that today. She's like, well, I've been watching you for long enough, so I signed up for the trial for BOD because I figured if like you were going through this, then I should probably get my act together or something like that. And it's like, so, I mean, again, didn't correlate with the Success Club point, but it correlated with someone making a move in their health and fitness journey because I shared my story. And then be clear about what you are doing here and how you can help them. So in your authentic journey, you know, it's kind of like when you go to follow someone on Instagram and you're like, are you a coach? Are you not a coach? Like they do all the things that like we do, but they never say something like, I can help you, or join me, or we can do this together, or join a sneak peek or something like that. They literally are just sharing their journey, which is good and fine, but it's not going to help you grow a business. So share and ask for specifically what you are looking for. And that is what I took away from a lot of Holly Hillier's videos I've been watching lately, is that, you know, be clear who specifically you want on your team and in your boot camps, and not just trying to fill the empty seats with anybody who will come in. You know, you don't just have a sign on the street and you're like, anybody just come in, like, please just come in, please. Like, you're like, no, I'm looking for moms of toddlers, you know, ex-teachers or teachers or whatever your tribe is, whatever your vibe is, you know, military wives, stay-at-home moms, marketing, like all these things. Be specific. And you want people who are here to try, who are, you know, for me, it's like, I'm not perfect in my health and fitness, so I can't be like, I'm ready for people to come in who are, you know, consistent with their journey. You know, I believe they just want to try. They really want to try. They want to make the change, and that they're going to be as consistent as they can be. And then ask for that in your post. So when you're vulnerable and when you're sharing your authentic self and you're doing your Instagram stories and you're like talking to your tribe, like Westland is so good. She talks specifically. She'll like, I feel like she's talking to me because she'll be like, you know, girl, or, you know, you feel me? Like she says that a lot. You feel me? But like, she's talking to a specific person who she's imagining is whoever, who she's clearly imagining is me. Everybody is me in her. It's Susie. It's Susie. That's who it is. But she is talk to your person and make the person on the other side of the Instagram story feel like it's just them, and that everything that, like, it's like when you read Keisha's post, you're like, yeah, girl, I know, like, because you think that she's talking to you, and that could be because I relate to Keisha or whatever, but that's the goal. And then be clear who you want. So you're sharing your authentic self, and you're going on Instagram and you're like sharing that your toddler pooped all over the white couch when you're white couch when you did the tour. Like, that's what I did. And then you're like, hey, I'm also starting this challenge group, and I'm looking for people who are like me, who are busy, or who are, you know, don't know what to do at the gym, or whatever your walk of life is. And you're authentic about it. Because if you were to say, if I were to be like, well, I just love the gym, and this is working for me because it's just something different, like, I wouldn't know how to speak to that. In my last post, I said that I was a lost kindergartner at the gym. Like, that was like, I don't know, I just came up with it when I was breastfeeding. But like, trying to say it in different ways, that whatever your story is. So me at the gym, I didn't know what to do. You at the gym might know exactly what to do, but now it's a time thing. Now you have kids and you can't get there, or for whatever reason. Just share authentically you and yourself, and be unapologetic about it. You know, Brianna shares that she does her freaking workout on her lunch break in her office gym. Like, how awesome is that? But it's her story. I could never talk to that. I could never speak to how she makes it work, because I don't make it work like that. But you're making it work in some way, shape, or form. And you're not perfect, and nobody wants to join the perfect girl. And that's where you look at the top coaches and you go through their page, and none of them act like everything is easy. None of them. So to think that we have to act like everything is easy and we're making like $500,000 less than them is silly. If anything, it should be easy for Bonnie Engel to do things, because she is, you know, doing quite well. But she shares the struggle, the mental place of having a baby and needing to get it done. But she did it and she feels better about it. Or Holly Hillier has a toddler crawling around all over her. So if they have struggle and that's helping them have success and being authentically okay with that, then we should be authentically okay with our struggle and sharing that. So that's kind of it. So remember your hero's journey. Remember that sharing your story connects heart to heart, and share the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of it in between. I think Instagram stories is the best thing that has ever happened to our business, because you get to share these snippets of your life constantly and consistently. And it's like the ad on TV. You know, you see it one time and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then you see the electric toothbrush again and again and again. And all of a sudden, next time you're at the store, you're like, I need that. That's what happens when someone sees you scoop your Shakeology. One day it's like, okay, whatever, she's drinking a shake. And then the next time it's like, oh, okay, she's still doing that. And then after weeks of it, it's like, okay, well, what the F are you doing? I need to do that. So, and you don't even have to say anything. You don't even have to try to sell them on it. You're just showing them what you're doing. So share it. Share you when you have no makeup on. Share you when you have makeup on, because that's real life. And I'm all about being as real as possible. The more you can talk about poop, the better in my book. Toddler poop, your poop, all of it. Brenna loves that. But that's it. So that's it. I'm here if anyone has questions. I don't think this was really a I mean, maybe if someone has questions or needs, I'm going to stop recording.